तो हम अभी इस बुक को कंटिन्यू करते हैं, ये जिसका नाम है पावर ऑफ वन थॉट। ये पहला चैप्टर चल रहा था, तो इसका नाम था रेडी टू सेट योर सेल्फ फ्री। तो ये कंटिन्यू करते हैं कि टू समराइज फॉलो दीज सिंपल स्टेप्स टू reprogram your mind and put yourself on the path to emotional independence. Step 1, take personal responsibility for your emotions as you enter a scene. Do not justify or endorse a negative emotions, no matter what. Otherwise, you tend to give yourself if the liberty to create it again and again. It depletes your inner power. So choose the emotion you wish to experience. You know the list: patience, acceptance, compassion, happiness, love, and forgiveness. So create the emotions you want to experience by creating a corresponding thought. In adverse situation, create the thought: I am the peaceful soul. This situation is tough, but I am certain about crossing it calmly. I have faith in the God, in my ability, and in my destiny. In the other, if the other person behave badly, create the thought: I am loving soul. He is behave badly, but I understand, and he is in the emotional pain. I respond with compassion. You understand them and correct them patiently. So celebrate your freedom. The next time you find a reason to complain about something, create thought of gratitude for all the other things going right. If you feel like criticizing someone for a mistake, correct them respectfully rather than angrily. If you feel like the worrying about a problem, focus on the solution instead. As you internalize that the choosing a healthy response is just one thought away, you will see your response changing more easily. So you will then experience the powerful form of the freedom. तो ये पहला चैप्टर पूरा हुआ इस बुक का, द पावर ऑफ वन थर्ड। अभी दूसरा चैप्टर चल रहा है, द इनक्रेडिबल पावर ऑफ योर माइंड। द इनक्रेडिबल पावर ऑफ योर माइंड। इस बुक में कह रहा है कि प्लीज काम डाउन, डोंट बी स्केयर्ड, स्टॉप क्राइंग, व्हाट आर यू अपसेट, व्हाई आर यू अपसेट, कम ऑन, दैट इज नो रीजन टू फील बैड। So, do you recall receiving such advice while being in the middle of an emotional outburst? Could you pull yourself together immediately? Or did it take a while to put a lid on your gushing feeling? You had already thought of calming down, hadn't you? But you just did not know how to do it. We have all experienced a moment when someone whilst meaning advice seemed unnoticed. It is akin to telling a person who trips and falls, you should have walked carefully. Perhaps one knows it's better than him. After all, he is the one in pain. After your mental space, reflect on this question: what is the thought on your mind right now? And are you thinking about the content you are reading? Are you reading the next text, but are you thought somehow drifting towards completely unrelated topics? Are you able to hold your present thought for a few seconds? Are you able to hold your present thought for a few seconds? Are you unable to really interpret what you are thinking? So we do not usually observe or recognize our thoughts, but now would be a good time to become aware. Pause. Withdraw your attention from your surroundings for 20 seconds and observe what is going on inside your mind. There is always a constant flow of thoughts. Where do you feel them arising? From your heart or gut brain? Where? Somewhere around the center of your forehead. It is around the center of your forehead where thoughts can be felt. Notice that when you overthink or when your thoughts are uncultured, your forehead regions feels heavy or aches. So, what are your thoughts? Thoughts are the conversation or an inner dialogue with your own self. Thoughts are like a script created by the mind naturally, automatically, and endlessly. A thought can be idea, opinion, or question, answer, or so on. The purpose of the thought is to prompt us to take one or more meaningful action to create a desired outcome. Every human create every discovery and every intention in a consequence of thought in someone's mind. The mind churns out the unceasing flow of thought related to the various events, peoples, ourselves, situation, object, places, just about anything. Much like I, much like every blink, eye blink, your pulse, breathe, and heartbeat, our thoughts are also incensed. What you think is how you feel. The mind has two primary functions: the creation of the thoughts and the subsequent creation of feelings. A thought arises in the mind, a series of thoughts give rise to feeling. Consider these example of thoughts to corresponding feeling they generate in the mind a person. सो ये टेबल है थाट और फीलिंग का। अगर आपके माइंड में थाट आ रहा है कि आई एम ग्रेटफुल, आई हैव दिस होम टू कॉल माइंड, ये ग्रेटिट्यूड का थाट है, सही है। और आई एम हैप्पी दैट माई फ्रेंड बॉट अ लवली होम टुडे, ये हैप्पीनेस का थाट आ रहा है। दिस स्मॉल होम हेल्प मी स्टे क्लोज टू एंड बॉन्ड बिटर विथ माई फैमिली, ये प्यार का थाट आ रहा है। तो ये फीलिंग भी वैसी आ रही है जैसे थाट है। जैसे अगर ये थाट एक आ रहा है कि दिस हाउस इज सो स्मॉल एंड स्टफी, ये डिससेटिस्फेक्शन का थाट है। और दूसरा थाट ये फीलिंग्स आ रही है डिससेटिस्फेक्शन। माई फ्रेंड bought a spacious house which I could not afford, ये थाट आ रहा है जेलिसी का। और दूसरा है कि माई कुलीग्स इज कमिंग होम, ही मे रिडिकुलस फॉर मी लिविंग हेयर, ये वरी का थाट आ रहा है। तो ये मुख्तलिफ थाट्स हैं, मुख्तलिफ फीलिंग्स हैं। तो सेम पर्सन इज रेफरिंग टू द सेम हाउस ऑन द different occasions. Notice the different thoughts evoke different feelings. Different thoughts आते हैं, different feelings आती हैं, emotions आते हैं। We often pay attention to our feelings rather than to our thoughts. हम thoughts को नहीं देखते, खाली feeling को focus करते हैं। We usually understand and express feelings that we are feeling low, happy, upset, or angry, but we do not pay much attention to our thoughts. We use the word thought only then referring to an idea of opinion. For instance, we say, I had the thought, I have an idea, or I think this is how it works. Our feelings are a result of the series of thoughts. If we want to change how we feel, we need to reflect on the quality of thoughts we are creating at the moment and change them. Changing our thoughts is the only way to change our feelings. Thought change करेंगे तो feeling change होगी। So your experience, your choice, our thoughts create our experiences. In other words, we experience whatever we think. This means corresponding feelings like happiness, peace, calmness, cheerfulness, and it's only one thought away. This is why we should learn to create pure, positive, and nice thoughts, irrespective of the institutional stimulus. Consider these example scenarios. Suppose your colleagues and you are headed towards together for an important business meeting but get stranded in the traffic. Let's look at a few thoughts that could rise in such a situation. Your colleague says, I am afraid we might get late. If the client reaches before us, it will embarrassing beside our boss will certainly hold it again. His thoughts gives him experience of fear, anxiety, worry, and restlessness. You maintain composure and say, relax, relax. The traffic will clear up and we will reach in time. Everything will be perfect today. Your thoughts gives you an experience of peace, optimism, and faith. Even if both of you reach the office and late and get an earful from your boss supervisor, your colleagues might not have the power to cope since his energy was already spent in worrying, but you will have the energy to face the scene calmly with stability. Think about this. Both of you were in the same situation. If this is the stimulus was responsible for creating your response and experiences, then both of you would have created the same thought and experienced the same emotions. But they did not happen. It shows that our response are your choice regardless of stimulus. स्टिमुलस कोई भी हो हमारा रिस्पांस जो है वो हमारी चॉइस होती है. Scenario 2 है. Let us reflect on the same scene at home when challenging circumstances arise. Each family members think and feel differently. One member remarks, "I am worried about this is a huge problem." The second says the problem is not huge. We can overcome. The third member quips, "I do not see any problem. This is just a trivial issue." So, if a stimulus was to create their thought, all the three family members would have identical thought and feelings. But that is not the case. Someone magnifies situation through their thoughts, someone else plays it down with a different kind of thoughts. This is why different people label situation differently as chaos, crisis, mess or problem, issue or scenario. The gravity of a situation depends on how we choose to think about it. So reducing the size of situation in our mind help us to overpower it rather than getting overpowered by it. So scenario 3, we often meet people who have huge emotional reactions, even a slight cold or fever. They magnify the illness by creating thought like on his on this cold is terrible, fever is tearing me. What if I do not recover soon? On the other hand, we also come across individuals who have battled terminal illness, remaining emotionally resilient. Their body undergoes extreme suffering, but not their mind. They say, "I have accepted the situation. I will not let it overpower my mind. I want to spend the remaining days joyfully." सो पॉजिटिव माइंडसेट हेल्प अस कोप बिटर. जो पॉजिटिव होगा वो ऊपर बिटर कोप करेगा. वो लोअर द सेंस ऑफ द पेन. वो जो है से पेन के सेंस को कम कर देगा, डिस्ट्रेस के कम कर देगा. इंक्रीज इम्यूनिटी एंड इवन अपनी इम्यूनिटी बढ़ा देगा. एक्सटेंड लाइफ स्पॉन्स इन सम केसेस. Many patients make unexpected and spectacular recoveries, defying the protection of medical science. He is having health of the body does not create our feelings, but our feelings influence the health of our body. So the three examples scenarios prove that situation do not create our response. Situation है वो our response experience करने करती, but our response influence our situation. So it is not just sometime mind over matters. Every thought count. Our thoughts, हमारे जो सोच है, हमारे बोल है, हमारे एक्शंस हैं, हमारा बिहेवियर है, constitute our कर्मा. वो हमारा कर्म बनाता है. इवन सोच भी कर्म है, बोल भी कर्म है. बड़ी बात है यार. The law of karma state as will be your karma, so will be your destiny. जो कर्म होगा वो आपकी डेस्टिनी होगी. Thoughts are the starting point, and destiny it all culminate. In fact, every thought that the we create amount to our karma. Even सोच भी हमारा कर्म है, वो भी हमारा काम है. Thus, our mind is not only the space where karma is first created, but it is also where most of the karmas are created, as our thoughts outnumber our words on actions. So don't we all know individuals who trap into the power of their thoughts to perform feats or achieve goals? These are the labeled as the miracles. They create thoughts of steady determination, faith and power, and then act on the thoughts to win against all the odds. इसमें मिसाल दिया इसने हेलन हेलन किलर जो है ना वो हु लास्ट देयर उसकी आंखें चली गई थी और हीरिंग चली गई थी बिफोर द एज ऑफ 2 में was more than just a symbol of the courage. She dedicated her life to improve the conditioning of those facing hearing and vision impairment. अपने अपनी हेरन किरण ने पूरी अपनी लाइफ जो है उस बच्चों पे सर कर दी जो सुनते नहीं जो देख नहीं सकते इम्पेयरमेंट जिनको है थ्रू द लेक्चर्स इन ओवर 25 कंट्रीज में उसने काम किया हेलन केलर और डॉक्टर स्टीफन का इसने मिसाल दिया है कि बिकेम व्हील चेयर बाउंड व्हेन ही वाज ओनली 21 ईयर ओल्ड वो 21 ईयर ओल्ड का था स्टीफन अल्दो हिज मोबिलिटी एंड स्पीच गॉट अफेक्टेड वो बैठ गया बोल भी नहीं सकता था ही वेंट टू कम बिकम डिस्टिंग्विश्ड साइंटिस्ट कैसे बना वो सोच की बात है ना ये सारी प्रूविंग दैट फिजिकल डिसेबिलिटीज नीड नॉट बिकम मेंटल बैरियर सही है दा सो द माइंड एंड इट्स सुपर पावर थिंक ऑफ द रिलेशन हु लिव्स इन अनदर कंट्री सोचो आपका रिलेशन ऐसे बंदे के बारे में सोचो जो आपके दूसरे मुल्क में रहता हो सपोज मेरा भाई है क्रिश्चियन थिंक ऑफ योर नेक्स्ट डोर नेबर्स अब नेक्स्ट डोर पे सोचो हमारे पास में जो रहता है सपोज अमर लाल है थिंक ऑफ द वेकेशन यू वेंट ऑन 2 years अगो मैं गया था वेकेशन पे हुंजा में गया था गिलगित बल्तिस्तान व्हाट वाज द कलर ऑफ योर स्कूल यूनिफॉर्म आप जब आप स्कूल में थे आपके स्कूल का कलर क्या था सो हाउ लॉन्ग डिड इट टेक टू थिंक ऑफ ईच ऑफ देम आपको कितना टाइम लगा ऐसी बातें सोचने में perhaps not more than a second or two 1 सेकंड या 2 सेकंड लगा so our mind works at a fast speed and our thoughts also travel quickly remaining wherever you are right now you can radiate a thought to someone who lives on the different continent because thoughts travels as energy vibrations तो हम चैप्टर यहाँ पे ख़त्म करते हैं तो थोड़ा कंटिन्यू करते हैं एवरीथिंग इन द यूनिवर्स इज एनर्जी यूनिट्स में जो है एनर्जी है दिस मीन्स एट एवरी मोमेंट ईच ऑफ द अस वाइब्रेट एनर्जेटिकली एट अ पर्टिकुलर फ्रीक्वेंसी पे हम वाइब्रेट करते हैं सारे और वाइब्रेशन रिफर टू द क्वालिटी ऑफ एनर्जी हमारी वाइब्रेशन जो है ना वो डिपेंड करती है हमें एनर्जी क्या है एनर्जी किस किस्म की क्वालिटी किस किस्म की एनर्जी की इट इज़ द क्यूमुलेटिव रिजल्ट ऑफ आवर इंटेंशंस ये हमारा सारा जो है ना हमारा इंटेंशन क्या है हमारी सोच क्या है हमारी फीलिंग्स क्या है हमारे बोल क्या है हमारे एक्शंस क्या है एट एनी गिवन मोमेंट सो जस्ट एज रेडियो फ्रीक्वेंसी जैसे रेडियो फ्रीक्वेंसी हम सुन सकते हैं बट देख नहीं सकते और वाइब्रेशन कैन बी फेल्ट बट नॉट सीन हमारे वाइब्रेशंस हम महसूस करते हैं देख नहीं सकते द वर्ड वाइब्स इज ड्राइव फ्रॉम द वाइब्रेशंस सो व्हेन वी पे केयरफुल अटेंशन वी कैन फील द वाइब्स ऑफ द अनदर पर्सन जब हम अटेंशन पे करेंगे तो हम वाइब फील कर सकते हैं दूसरे पर्सन की द माइंड डज नॉट हैव फिजिकल फॉर्म दैट वी कैन सी माइंड को कोई फिजिकल फॉर्म नहीं है वी कैन सी और टच अनलाइक द ब्रेन जैसे ब्रेन है ना उसको हम टच कर सकते हैं माइंड को नहीं टच कर नोट दैट द माइंड इज सेपरेट फ्रॉम द ब्रेन अलग है थ्रू द सम पीपल रॉन्ग रिफर टू देयर इंटरचेंजबली लोग एक समय से ब्रेन इज अ फिजिकल ऑर्गन while the mind is more interchangeably as energy माइंड एक एनर्जी है माइंड क्रिएट अ थॉट माइंड क्रिएट सकता है सेंड अ सिग्नल टू द ब्रेन कि जब ब्रेन देम ब्रिंग द थॉट इनटू एक्शन थ्रू द बॉडी वो बॉडी में एक्शन लाता है सही है।